It's really early in the morning, so I'm gonna be close to the mic, but I needed to do this. This entry is because I'm waking up in the morning and I have this fear in my chest, and I understand it. I start to think about all the things that I've created and shared in the social media space, and I get overwhelmed. And I remember when I built my first, it was not my first, probably my fourth account. And that was the one that gained the most success. And it had about 4,000 followers. That's a lot to me. And I remember deleting that account and why I deleted it. But I keep coming back to this space of creation and having to deal with those uncomfortable feelings. And the one thing that is required of me is acceptance. Accepting myself fully as I am and seeing which parts of me I have cast to the side or which parts of me I feel have no value. I'm also seeing my fears, things that I have masked and not even masked, I would say, for the sake of, let me shift that. In an effort to be more connected, more open, I always tell the truth in the spaces that I create. Yes, I protect myself, but when it comes to my identity, I always share. And I realize that there's fear attached to that. And it doesn't prevent me from sharing because it's one of those aspects of my identity that I feel I don't need to hide. I've always been very much like what you see is what you get. But I realized that I had this fear of being hurt or harmed or verbally attacked. It's very weird. It's this very quiet thing, this thing that I'm aware of, that one day someone could say something. And I was speaking to my sister about it. I was telling her, I've always been really open about my sexuality in terms of I'm not singing at the top of my lungs. By the way, she goes, "What is your sexuality?" Because she knows who I've dated, but she just wanted to hear me confirm it. I was like, pansexual. And it's funny, and I made that, what do I want to say? That's something that I've never said, but I've just always acted on. I've never hid it. Like, if you saw me, you saw me. And I guess, and for me, I was like, I guess society would see me as pansexual. But why I gotta? And that's mostly because when it comes to sexuality, there's always this confinement. People immediately see you as that. And if you step out of that, it's like, I thought you said you were. Oh my gosh. One of the fundamental cores of the existence of human beings is change. We always change, even if it's not a alchemical change in terms of shifting identity or shifting belief. It's a change in physical appearance. We grow, we get older. We see things differently. It doesn't have to be grand change, but we change. And so I think, I had fear attached to that. It was getting overwhelming, and I thought that one part of me was overshadowing the next, that I was getting seen for one part of me, and that part of me I love. But if I remember that moment that I deleted my TikTok, it was because I was starting to get overwhelmed. Number one, I was starting to have these ideas about, and this is why I always hit restart. It's because you have not embraced who you are, and I think I have to wipe the slate clean and start over and go again. And it doesn't erase the past. What you have should fuel your creation. And there can be things that you take away. You can decide what you want in your space of, in your sacred space, your space of creation. You can decide. But I realized that me taking things away or restarting comes from a space of fear, comes from a space of, oh, this is too much. And I've spoken about this so many times before. But I know it's different this time simply because I finally dedicated my energy to something that I've always been very wishy-washy about. And I just have to accept that I can be everything. All the time, I can be everything. Right? Forgive me, excuse me. And resentment will build if I don't let myself be everything. Hurt will build if I don't let myself be everything. This unmistakable pain will exist if I do not let myself be everything. I think having that conversation with my sister is one of those subtleties that I didn't realize was important. There's some things you need to say out loud. And they have very little to do with the surface of what it is, but everything that exists within it. It has a little to do with the label and more to do with the existence and affirming your existence and affirming that you can take up space and that you should take up space. And there is still some part of you that deeply cares what everyone thinks and doesn't want to hear the dialogue and is fearful of that. It's 5:39 a.m. and the last few nights, like I mentioned before, I wake up. I can feel everything that I've done. And it takes me a minute to settle down and realize, but it is everything that I wanted to do. It is a part of me. It is what I enjoy. It is what I have decided to invest in. It is what will take me beyond. And anything that I lose because of that, it just has to go. Okay. Alright, I think that's it. I'll check back again soon. Whoever is hearing this, I hope this finds you well. I love you all the way from Barbados. It's Mercedes. I gotta go.